Hello, my name is Laura Weigel and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. I am the owner and the creator of the Will to Wow jewelry, and I use genuine, authentic, beautiful crystals and gemstones to make my jewelry. I also have a private Facebook page, Crystal Healing with Laura. So if you're interested in crystals, this is the page for you. If you resonate with my videos, then make sure you hit the little bell to get notifications whenever I make a new video. And feel free to like and share my videos out because I really appreciate that, of course. So welcome. Hey guys, how are you holding up? I just really wanted to check in and see how everybody's doing. I know I've had a couple conversations the past few days, and a lot of people are feeling a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress and going through different waves of emotion, which is totally normal. But I had one conversation specifically this morning that really I felt needed to just be shared. So I have a friend and she lives in Chicago and was able to finally get out and walk today, which really lifted her mood, right? Because her energy was able to move. But she was talking about how as soon as she gets in a positive mindset, that negative Nelly always creeps in. And she was talking about how she reacts to negative Nelly. She gets really angry. She goes farther down the rabbit hole. So we talked about some different strategies and some different ways to deal with our own negative Nellies when they creep in, because it's going to happen, right? Our anxiety is going to creep in for all of us. For one, we already live in one of the most anxious countries in the world, and now we are quarantined and under a whole pandemic. So I just thought it would be beneficial to share with you what we came up with on how to deal with it. So what I suggested for her is, number one, is to first notice when it comes up. You might be taking shorter breaths. You might feel a tightness in your chest, but just kind of notice when it comes up and explore it rather than push it away. I have been known for years, the way I would deal with anxiety and stress is to do more, right? I would start cleaning or do more, but it was just an avoidance tactic rather than actually sitting with it, because it's just our egos that's coming up and it's actually trying to protect you. There's two main emotions that we have as humans that I've learned through years of my own self-study. And I've read it too, but anyway, it's love and fear. So when our anxiety is coming up, it's because we're coming from a place of fear, obviously, and it's just trying to protect us. So rather than getting mad, just see it and feel it. And I suggest even watching the video I did the other day, or the meditation that I did the other day, and doing that again. Number two is I was suggesting to even engage with it, right? Like, it's trying to tell you something, so listen for a minute. And I don't mean go down the rabbit hole with it, but actually sit with it for a bit. And even better, I would suggest journaling it, whatever's coming up for you, but to journal it, right? And even with anger, right? The reason I said our two main emotions are love and fear is because even underneath anger is normally fear or love. So those are the two main emotions. So think about that as you're journaling it, right? Is what is it that you're actually afraid of? And then you're getting the energy that's stuck inside, but you're getting it out. So sit with it, notice it, and journal about it. And then realizing what you can't control, right? So you can't control certain things that are going on in our environment, but you can control the way you deal with it. Sitting with it, journaling about it, moving your body, doing something healthy, and replacing those thoughts, replacing the negative thoughts, but having something else to take its place. Some affirmations, some positive thoughts, write them out and set them around your house where you're going to see them. possibly in your bedroom, on your nightstand, on your bathroom mirror, on your refrigerator, but someplace that you're constantly reminded, because the more you do things that make you feel good and think thoughts that make you feel good, the more it's going to help to shift your emotions. And also realizing that it's just going to come up. It's part of human nature. We all have an ego, and these things are going to come up. So by having a way to deal with them gives you a more proactive plan rather than going down the rabbit hole with them. And to choose some help and some support. So it's all about connection, right? And this led me to another thought, because I've noticed with myself, and I don't know what you've noticed, but I had a friend yesterday actually totally call me out on my shit. And he has put together some different Zoom calls for people around the country to connect, different entrepreneurs, things like that, right? And if you've read any of Brene Brown's books, which I love, but she talks about the need for human connection, for us to be seen and heard, and she really dives into vulnerability, right? And so he's also really studied Brene Brown too. So when he brought that up about how I've not shown up to any Zoom calls, and to just step out of your own way, get out of your own head and just do it anyway, because that again is fear. So anyway, and I have another friend that's doing some as well. She lives in Florida, and they would be different meditations that we would be hosting. So my mind gave the excuse of, well, they're both East Coast time. It'd be 8 a.m. I'm not really prepared to go live on a Zoom call at 8 a.m. But again, I can get up an hour earlier, right? And so I appreciated being called out on my shit, because it's really easy to hide and to not connect. So just remembering that, wanted to share that with you guys, that even though we're isolated and quarantined, that we still can connect. And you can make the effort and to write that into your calendar and to actually do that. Maybe once a day, just focus on that connection, because we need that. And then lastly, I had two other friends that are completely in the middle of this. One is applying to go to New York. Another one's husband is a New York City police officer. And both of them were very triggered by a lot that's going out there in social media about all the good things that's happening in our environment, and not to discount that at all, because there are a lot of good things happening in our environment because of the quarantine. And that's the duality of life, right? There's always going to be good, and there's always going to be some bad, as long as we're living. But listening to it from their perspective helped to bring some awareness to me about the people that are right there in the middle of it. So again, I just want to remind you that meditation, just to try that, to send yourself to some love and everybody else some love. And I really want to recommend rose quartz, the stone of love, specifically self-love. It's very readily available. So I really recommend working with some rose quartz. I love the idea, of course, of wearing the crystals, because you can absorb the minerals through your skin, but having them in your environment, meditating with them, holding them. So rose quartz. Another one is Amazonite, connecting that heart and the throat chakra, really speaking loving, kind communication right now to yourself and to others. It's a stressful time. When we get stressed, we tend to take it out on each other. It's just what we do as humans. Lastly, lepidolite. It's a form of mica. That's why it's so shiny. It's gorgeous. It has lithium actually in it. Super soothing and calming, helps with anxiety and helps with sleep. I'm actually wearing a lepidolite bracelet right now. So I want to recommend Amazonite, rose quartz, and lepidolite during this time to help soothe your anxiety and to do my meditation as well. And I would just really love to hear from you and how you're doing. So take care till next time.